Shiva is worshipped as a phallus. They were not thinking pornography. It is not seen as a sexual organ. People's minds are screwed up with sexuality. It's just a induction equipment. The best appropriate symbolism is a phallus. This has come from a completely different kind of mindset.
Namaskaram Sadhguru. What is Prakriti and Purusha? Are they the same as masculine and feminine?
It's Prakriti and Purusha. What it means is, the word Purusha today also is a commonly used word to indicate masculine. Purush means man or masculine. Prakriti does not mean feminine, but means generally, in general usage, it means nature. So, you don't have a place in the duality. That's not how it is. What is referred to as the Purusha is the cause, is the main induction which sets things going. When the existence is primordial, when it's not in a state of creation, it's just primordial. For it to snap up and suddenly become creation, that is referred to as Purusha, that cause. So, in terms of human understanding, it is referred to as male or masculine. See, this whole bunch of people just happened because of a single act of man. The population happened because of copulation, isn't it? That single act, all of us are here, isn't it? So, that's not a great act. It could happen anyway, you know? It could happen irresponsibly, negligently, forcefully, in anger, in hatred. It need not necessarily happen beautifully. Whichever way you do it, population will come. But what happened in the womb cannot happen whichever way. It has to happen in a very orderly and beautiful way. Otherwise it won't work. You understand what I'm saying? This masculine act can happen anyway, but still, what happens in the nature of the womb is a very orderly and beautiful process. If that goes wrong, if that happens violently, that happens some other way, life won't happen. So, when we look at this basic process of how creation is, that process which just is like one act, it happens that way, that's known as Purusha. But what takes this on and slowly evolves into life is called Prakriti or nature. So nature is also represented as feminine because the symbolism and the comparison is very much there. It's exactly like that. Whether a human being is born, or an ant is born, or an insect is born, or a cosmos is born, it is happening the same way. That there is one aspect which is masculine which just inducts. Rest is a slow evolution. Copulation is over in a few minutes, pregnancy 9–10 months, isn't it? It's a slow, orderly process, isn't it? That cannot happen haphazardly. This can happen anyway. Yes? This can happen anyway. That cannot happen anyway. There is a whole grace to it. Copulation can happen in most irresponsible ways. Pregnancy and delivering the child cannot happen that way, isn't it? So if you turn inward and see how this creation is ticking off, you know how the whole cosmos is happening, because it's not happening differently, it is happening the same way. So that which induces is referred to as Purusha or masculine. That which evolves is referred to as nature or feminine. So why are these two? Because if there's no two, there is no activity, isn't it? Otherwise, it will be still. We say like this, Shiva is the Purusha, Shakti is the Prakriti. Shakti means, generally it is symbolized as a feminine form. Essentially it means primordial energy is feminine. It is just lying there, throbbing, but still it cannot do anything by itself. It needs this induction. Without this induction, it can't get fired up. And people have been claiming about immaculate births. But as a woman, when immaculate birth happened, something went wrong somewhere. Isn't it? Any number of women have claimed this, right through history and even today. This happened. A high society lady took her 14-year-old daughter to the doctor for a checkup. The doctor checked up the girl and said, "Your girl is pregnant." The lady said, "No way, she cannot be. My little girl, she hasn't even kissed a man. Such a thing cannot happen." "Yes? What, baby, isn't it so?" "Yes, mama." Then the doctor looked at these people. He got up from his chair, walked to the window and started staring out of the window. Then the lady asked, "Doctor, is something wrong? Why are you looking out of the window like that?" The doctor said, "The last time this happened, there was a star in the east." So, this is why in the Eastern symbolism, Shiva is represented as the linga. One aspect of linga is it's an ellipsoid, another aspect of linga is it's a phallic. So Shiva is worshipped as a phallus because it is not seen as a sexual organ, it is seen as the inducting equipment. Without that induction, there's no life, isn't it? Whatever ideas you have about it, whatever fancy ideas you have about it, you're exaggerated things and made it ugly. Otherwise, it's just a induction equipment, isn't it? Without it, life cannot be inducted, isn't it so? So, because that is the nature of the Purusha, in human understanding, people who just saw their body as instrument, people who did not think that there is some difference between your little finger and something else, people who didn't see one thing different from the other, who could look at every part of the body the same way. As you looked at your hands, they looked at all other parts of the body. Such people, they are different people. They just thought the best appropriate symbolism is a phallus. They didn't think that they're starting a pornographic thought in somebody's mind, They were not thinking pornography. They were just looking at the body as an instrument. How to symbolize this? They saw the phallus is the best symbol. Because now people's minds are screwed up with sexuality, now people are thinking all kinds of things about it. You must understand this has come from a completely different kind of mindset. Some time ago, an American, he was conducting a conference. For some conference he went to China. This conference was in Shanghai. And he was in a restaurant for a dinner. And a Chinese journalist came up to him and said, "Can you say something? You're eating Chinese food. Can you say something about this? Because your culture is about sex, our culture is about food. What have you got to say about this?" So this guy said, "Oh, really? But why is it that we are fat and you are 1 billion people?" Doesn't work out, isn't it? People are thinking about it. Because people are thinking all kinds of nonsense, the moment you say phallus, they are thinking all kinds of fancy things. These people who made the symbolism did not think on those lines. For them, a little hair on your body and everything is just same. They didn't look at one thing different from the other, they just looked at everything as functional. So because of this symbolism happened. Because of that, the word Purusha became the word to talk about that induction in nature which naturally gets things going.